It's another dream come true that we have Binyavanga Wainaina here with us, and it's my immense pleasure to now introduce him. Binyavanga is a Kenyan author, publisher, and cultural worker. He's the founding editor of one of Africa's leading literary institutions, Kwani. You can all check it on www.kwani.org. His essay, How to Write About Africa, attracted wide attention globally, and his memoir, One Day I Will Write About This Place, has been translated into many languages. It's one of my favorite books of the last year. I've read it again and again, so it is really our dream come true that Binyavanga agreed to be here at this year's Transformation Marathon. He has been a Sterling Brown Fellow at Williams College, Massachusetts, and a Lennon Fellow and a visiting writer at Union College, New York. Until 2012, he was the director of the Chinua Achebe Center for African Writers and Artists at Bard College. In 2014, he came out publicly as gay and was named by Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. Binyavanga will be presenting today a talk called Like Polyps and Jellyfish, but Tough. A very, very warm welcome to Binyavanga Wainaina.
Hello, everybody. I'm in a flowery season. So just a little bit of background about this text I'm going to read. This is a shortened version of a text I wrote my last term teaching at Bard College, which I left with relief, not because of Bard College, but I needed to get back home to Kenya. And it was during this hurricane. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was 2012. 2012, there was this big hurricane in New York, and half of New York was drowning. And I was living in upstate New York, and like everything was battering and falling apart. A lot of things that happened to me those last couple of years. I'd had a stroke, several small strokes, as they put it. And they said there was no damage. And other things which you'll find out kind of in the text. Now, this text has been a seminal text, so it's about 8,000 words long. It's been a seminal text for me, and it just came in the middle of the night. I'd been reading maybe weird books, then there's a storm. I had this strange dream somewhere during the storm. I'd been reading this book about, this guy had written about, what are they called, fractals, and African architecture, and I'd been reading that. I'd been reading also a book about a spiritualist. I'm an African Sangoma, something like this, about South African woman. And of course, maybe it's these sorts of emotional seasons, right? My relationship to English as a language, which I wrote about in the memoir that Hans Ulrich mentioned, has always been interesting. I read a lot. But when I read novels when I was a child, if I read something like Treasure Island, I would always, I don't know how you could call it, skim through. So they're like, oh, they're moving through a jungle and many fauna and flora. But I don't focus on, okay, that's that tree, that's that tree. I was very impatient as a child reading through those. And so you learn to sort of grab the mood and sense of so that you don't miss anything. And you get back to the action or the emotional action, which is, say, the human interactions, right? As a writer, I always strived, and I've always strived to this day to fight the war, to create conflict like other writers do in prose. Like, somehow I feel completely unable to say, she came around the room and slapped him. So I end up writing the wall, and so it never really happens on stage, if you know what I mean. It's my great crisis, and it's the reason I'm not rich. Now, so somewhere during this, I hit upon this idea in front of my computer to just try playing with verbs some. It wasn't so much a technical idea, but there's a certain animation. I know that for years I've been trying to remove information from what I write. So if I'm given a commission by a magazine, I Google, then I change the words, so I'm not plagiarizing. So all that, the information, as Naipaul said, the novel also brought news, But I have a certain kind of impatience with it, which I can explain that the stroke took that brain damage from me, or that emotionally I got tired, or after recovering from something traumatic like that where you think death has come, you're like, I just want pure experience. I do not know what it was, but clearly something happened. And all I've written since then, which are more diluted ways that this style plays out, have got its DNA. So I kind of feel that. Now, this text is going to be part of the creation of what we are calling a live book, with an artist, a really amazing artist called Phoebe Boswell, who's based here in London. She draws these amazing drawings and different kinds of installations of space based on them. And the guy who used to be the creative director at Granta, who is also one of the most innovative person thinking about the book in the digital space. So we're going to try and figure out how to make it a physical space online in a live book sometime next year, or somehow when we secure enough, if not funding, but networks to make it happen properly. Since everything was suddening into a hurricane, it took the madmen of yesterday for us to be able to act with extreme clarity today. I want to be one of those madmen. We must dare to invent the future. Thomas Sankara, the late ex-president of Burkina Faso, whose birthday it was 2 years ago, they just finally found out that he was shot and killed. But he's a great African hero. Episode 1. It is Monday, the 10th of July, 2011. Me and a man I so in love. We are waiting to take a flight home to Nairobi after a 3-week holiday together. It is 3 months after I will take myself to an American hospital with a headache. We are in Accra Airport in Ghana, waiting to board a flight to Nairobi. It will be 3 months since they took a scan and tests, and more scans and tests. Me and the man I am so in love, we were partying and cuddling, and I'm learning tennis. It is 3 months after they were showing me that I've had several small strokes. It is 3 months after they were showing me that a part of an artery in my brain is 70% blocked. It is 3 months after they said a big stroke is on its way. It will be coming anytime soon now, they say. They want to immediately balloon angioplast the artery in my brain. I refuse to be letting them. From this time 3 months ago, I will be fearing for my life. My heart was opening creakily, and I was no longer distanted from the world. Oh, suddenly I'm inside fully in loving. And I can't say how we'll be getting inside fully in loving. Only when I will be inside in loving, I will know that I was always in my life outside of the world. So we'll be playing tennis and partying for 3 weeks in Ghana with my in-love. Now the holiday is ended, and today we are taking the flight back to Nairobi. I'm clipping my seatbelt. Already, I'm starting to see again. I'm in the present tense, enjoying my body and tennis. I'm feeling so almost. Seconds away, then the thighs and buttocks of the plane, they're clicking the seatbelt shut. They are yawning at long, dogged whine. Then they will clenchedly stand. Headily, the plane will punch vroom into the stomach of a cloud, and then we are headlonging into the blue waters of the sky above the gas sea of Accra, Ghana, all the way until. My eyes, they twitter and shift and creak, and they're letting the stream of everything to be reestablishing itself. Then they're browsing around for. With both my inner eyelids, I'm near me, and around me, feeling what everywhere they were and everyone they will be. The whole planed world is cruising and settled, silent in the quietly screaming wall of wind. The seatbelt light moans. That is in my in-love, his hand. It leans, so practiced, across from his window seat and touches my knuckles and slides back. The plane winds through clouds. My eyes meet his, and I'm subsiding. And cool in the present tense, even resting. He is the first person who has really recognized it fully of me. I was never recognizing my departure from tense myself. My in-love is angry because I will smoke again inside Accra Airport, a full sweet one. After so many Nicorettes, and after bouncing for heavy breathing days playing tennis in the heat of Accra. My in-love is angry because the brain tube, it is tick-tocking upwards, and my head will soon be filling again with brackish tobacco glue. That was weeks ago. Today, my in-love, he's smiling. The plane groans, we brush eyes briefly, the rope releases, the iron bucket falls down the well, and splashes there far inside the dark waters of in-love. He is smiling, and his eyes, they watch my face, putting on my screensaver. He winks, his hand stronger by far than mine. It squeezes, forgiving hard. My knuckles crankle, and he laughs softly, and I'm jumping ouchly forward to make a joke with him, wearing my bright manga glasses. 3 months ago, back from spring break and teaching African literature class, I will have over 4 days many headaches. Sometimes it was a thick, wet, ringing tongue, moving there inside the raw roof of my brain. Sometimes it was tiny, skinless creatures. Also, there will be tiptoeing, tickling, and mischieving in my brain. Sometimes it will be a big, twinkling sponge or squeeze. Sometimes it was some silently ticklish thing that will be not mine. It was walking upside down barefoot under my naked skulls. Sometimes bits and cutlets of my body is displacing ever so smallly side to side, and my waist and my hips are jerky. Then on Friday, my head is so squeezing and fingers are numbing, my legs tripping each other. I'm so everywhere displaced, and much is pinning and needling. I will call a Red Hook taxi, then checked in and blood pressured, and Northern Duchess Hospital is telling me I've had up until 12 small strokes. And then I was ambulated urgently by a special stroke unit to a special stroke unit in Albany, New York, where I'll be soft, slidingly denying to listen, see, but nodding, grinning to charts and chat and measurements, and was refusing to be agreeing to any such. Since that one artery in my brain will be nearly full of sticky tobacco brackish, also they are saying they will be having to put a microsurgery tube containing a microcamera inside my thigh at the beginning of the gushing artery pipe, all the way past into my neck, its thick pumping artery, and into the fulling up artery in my brain to open the block. I say, no. I cannot talk. My tongue is swollen, and we are laughing. The brain puff gong, it is the softest two-ply sound computing. Oh, my sister Chiki, she's on a plane to help me pack and take me home. Classes, they're nearly done for the term, and I will finish and pack to go home. My brain, it is humming like quiet and indivisible. On the plane today, I'm feeling so almost. Tomorrow I'll see Baba. I've hidden from seeing him since I got back home 3 weeks ago. We had dinner. I hid my heart and made jokes. I decided to go on holiday to cool my freak out, so I could see him heart solid. And in my heart, I could easily then have told him I was gay. But not today. Fuck. I've had a stroke, okay? 3 months ago is gone. Already this flight time and this Ghana 3-week holiday will be tumbling down the hill with endless two-ply, with a million running trippy puppy dogs inside the African hurricane, and the sun will be orange oozing thickly over small islands in Lake Victoria, and in 1 hour, Nairobi land below is dark and toasting, and I was full of in-loving. Ghana dark tan and rampantly overflown, and the plane will be landed, fat, wheels are bumping, and we are home. And will be soon asleeping, and it was very Nairobi July cold. It was Monday night, July 10th, 2011. The last time I saw Baba was 3 weeks ago, a day before we were leaving for Ghana. I'd been home for a couple of weeks from America, staying in Nairobi with my in-love for the first few days, unbearable tender to stand the presence of people, or crowd wounds, or loud groups bullying around with love, but I can't. And even during one party, I ran away outside and I'm found by my in-love crying on the street because I'm wanting him to take me away, and I can hear silence of my friends who hear my eyes vomiting and crying. I don't know. Everywhere in Africa, it is oil and copper and gas oozing everywhere, and highways tearing through trees and railways and ports. And Nairobi instant malls, they have fallen from the sky to land all over. Their cars jam-packed and full of women who are born-again Pentecostals and single mothers but passed exams for banking better than men in Nairobi. Apartments, new apartment blocks. This city garbage dump, it is doubling in size every year. Imported wine and good cheese in every new mall all over the city. An epidemic of breast cancer. Our soldiers are in Somalia, and the forgotten people or forgotten places of Kenya, they are attacking the police and their neighbors. So kill is to insist or to matter or else. Nairobi. We land at night and sleep cuddled. Slowly, Bobo and William, my nephews, they're in their apartment with us. And my in-love, his brother, and it is chuckly familiar. It is rubbing off on my tingling comfort returning. We drink beer. It has been 3 months. I have not spoken to my heart to my father. Today, I was not even being aware of it. Today, this morning, one day after landing from Ghana, it is July 11th. On this date, in the year 2000, I was busy fucking up and being young, confused in Cape Town, and my uncle called and mom was dead. Because they left a small window open in that hospital where her kidneys and organs, they will be collapsing. I wake up in the present tense in Nairobi after the Ghana holiday, and we are unpacking at 10 a.m., 11th July 2011, and I'm stirring my coffee when Baba, my father, Baba's girlfriend, when Baba's girlfriend Clem, she will be calling, and she will be saying Baba is dead, now on Tuesday today, and he will be dead until Friday. He's already dead midday on Tuesday. On Tuesday morning at around 10 o'clock, his girlfriend Clem calls me. I will, yesterday night, on Monday night, come back to Nairobi from Accra, Ghana, where I was on holiday with the first man I will love. I will be having tennis blisters on my feet. We are since unpacked at 10 o'clock in the morning when she will call. She was saying on the phone that they are sitting in his car downstairs on Kenyatta Avenue, Nakuru. He will be indigested now for 2 days, his stomach. Already he texted nobody. She was saying they were parked near a downtown Nakuru clinic where they'll be doing blood tests. On the phone, my coffee will be stirring slowly clockwise. On the phone, she will tell me she gave him millet porridge, which he was vomiting this morning. Since very early Tuesday morning, after he will call her to drive him for tests. Shiro, my sister, has been away for the weekend. For 2 days, my Baba, my father, will not be going to the hospital. I was saying to Clem on the phone, she should stubborn and not listen to Baba, not liking ever doctor since mom, she died, and I'll be refusing to speak to him on the phone until. He is always stubbornly chief executiving and not taking himself first. Always, he complains that I'm not using semicolons properly. Since for 2 weeks, my new books will be hardbacking, forgotten in the post office, waiting for me to find him for distribution and him to see and proudly. And I am cloud computing, but in Ghana playing blistering tennis. On the phone, my coffee will be stirring slowly clockwise. He won't already be dead on Tuesday, because I'm always so careless, blistering with tennis in Ghana for 3 weeks with no sneakers, with the first man I have loved. I will also be forgetting generalizing to switch off ovens and lights. It is not that I did not know he is not proud. My coffee will be stirring slowly clockwise. In a nanosecond, I was telling her to be screaming quietly. 10 o'clock, turn the car around to emergency in War Memorial Hospital, where all his children will be born in the 1970s. And I tell her they were going to put him on a drip in 20 minutes. They are, and she and me should stubborn, not at all talking to him until. I'll be walking backwards, repacking while my ear was on the phone. Since in a nanosecond, everything in Africa was hurricaning, and the matron at War Memorial Hospital will be calling me at midday, 1 hour to go, to say I was ready to come home to Nakuru immediately. Jimmy, my big brother, will already be hurricaning for an Africa Air Rescue plane, an hour to go before midday on Tuesday with his credit card. Already Baba will be dead in his head on Tuesday, midday-ish, and was being already dead on Friday, when on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, my ears will be heart beating warm, sitting every day, smelling his chest, and his eyes will be stubborning glue. Machine beats his heart from Tuesday, till he was CAT scan dead on Wednesday, and Thursday testing, and was being heartbeat nanosecond dead on Tuesday, even when I'll be on the phone with Clem, but he was still being on Tuesday, blown up all the brain pipes, and nanosecond dead already on Tuesday, and my big brother Jim will still be hurricaning for an Africa Air Rescue ambulance before midday on Tuesday with his credit card, but you've already been finally heartbeating in Mpisha Hospital Critical Care Unit, Nairobi, until Friday to here. The first man I love and I had both since unpacked. Tuesday, when Baba will die, since his girlfriend will call in a nanosecond to say his stomach will be bursting indigested, but only a bit, she will say. But they have been parked outside a clinic on Kenyatta Avenue. And it was late evening on Tuesday, and I will be streaming in a big Toyota taxi cab data down the Rift Valley, even when I'm speaking to America and everybody is rapidly network gathering, helping. And Jimmy, my brother, will since be hurricaning for a jet plane ambulance an hour to go before, since midday on Tuesday, with his credit card, and the emergency room is heated by a small heater because there is no July cold electricity in Provincial General Hospital Nakuru, where Baba was cycloned by Shiro early in the afternoon with tubes and doctors. Already the jet plane will be stuck on the suddenly midday Nairobi runway because this afternoon there was bad weather. But I was already taxi-cabbing beside a fully equipped ambulance down the Rift Valley, which will be streaming live and full of all of human evolution to save him. Upon arrival, Provincial General Hospital toilets were smelling of urine. Critical care unit will be kept warm by a small heater. His hand is so strong, and he was smelling of him. His heart will be beating of him. One eye of him will be half crying open like a glue eye, and his hand is warm and strong, and the ambulance was waiting outside. His hand is so strong, he will smell on Tuesday night of him. His heart will be beating of him on Friday. The machine was being switched off until 3 days. One eye of him will be half crying open like glue eye, and his hand is warm and strong. Machine will be beating, and the ambulance was waiting in my hand, so strong, but in his head, it will be already finished until. Cool. Thank you.